Ready. Ryan, John, welcome back to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Got Caribou Part 2 this year. Last year was up north with the bows. This year, rifle. You've got first shot. What's kind of been going through your brain? This hunt's different. We're going to be ambiguous about location and everything. I think I'm going to reel that in a whole bunch just because there's a lot of very specific information about a lot of hunts.
Yes.
So how does this one look different than before as far as expectations, training, size, all that?
That's a very good question. Obviously very excited. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while, and we still got another month and a half to go, another almost 2 months to go. So looking forward to it. Glad you and Abby are coming along. Should be pretty cool. Expectations are pretty high for a pretty good bowl. The adventure is going to be there. I think it's going to be a tough hunt as far as finding a decent animal and then getting out of the field. So it's going to be quite the adventure, you know.
It's nice that we had last year's hunt, so we kind of get maybe a little bit of an introduction to caribou behavior. We're assuming it's going to be different just because Hall Road, next to the road, everything's getting chased around. A lot of people. But this is going to be a bona fide caribou spot. We kind of know what caribou look like. We didn't do a whole lot of field judging because we didn't see a whole lot of caribou up there. I've been watching some videos. It's hard to tell.
Yes, it is. It's very hard to judge. Like last year, I feel like with what we had for opportunities, we just kind of went for the first legal bull just because they weren't migrating like we thought they were. 1st of August, and it was hot, and not a lot of bulls moving, and a lot of people. So when there was a bull, it was like, okay, everybody's going to go after it. So just so happened that you ended up getting yours. We watched them cross through the little valley there, and then we did the chase around for a good, I don't even know how long, but ended up getting yours, and then then we got mine, was heading to the restroom, the little outhouse there, and then looked up and saw a bull on the corner while everyone was still in their tents and did the business, said, let's go, and then off we went. So that was pretty good. And then a couple hours later, we were hiking back to the truck, so it was pretty good. And we both shot small bulls, but, man, we were very excited. First time up there, adventure, and, it was good.
Last time we were prepared to get away, hike the 5 miles out, and then live out of the backpacks. This one is going to be that. So has that changed? Like, are you already thinking about what you're going to pack, what you're going to take, weight, training? How has all that changed, knowing that there's not going to be a potential for a vehicle? Not that changes a whole lot because you were prepared. We were prepared to do that before. But have you been thinking more about what you're going to take, ounces, anything like that?
Well, I'm kind of just wondering because there's going to be 3 of us, and I assume you and Abby are going to sleep in one tent, and I'm probably going to sleep in my own tent. But, it's like one of those deciding factors, like, well, do we take 1 stove or do we take 2? If we're if we're weight limited, then do we do we have to take 1? Will that be the deciding factor? I can't imagine 2 pounds being a deciding factor, whether or not we each bring a tent, but just try to, or if we each bring a stove, not a tent. But if we just a little bit more weight conscious this time, it's going to be, I'm assuming we're probably going to primarily be living out of backpacks, and we're probably going to be putting in a lot of miles. I'm hoping for anyway, covering a lot of country and do a little scouting for future hunts and stuff like that. So probably I don't, I keep going back to like what new do I need to buy? What new this? What new that? But my gear for me has been pretty dialed in. I've been using the 1 stove for probably 3 years now, but tent for probably 5+ years. My bag is, I bought it. My sleeping system is probably as light as I can get it, as warm as I can get it for the warmth to weight ratio. I just can't. The only thing new that I just needed to upgrade stuff. I am going to be trying like a new pair of windproof gloves that are light and packable, but not waterproof. So when we're sitting there glassing, I'm going to throw those on, give them a whirl. So the good part is if we do have to, at least in my brain, so if we are trying something new for this hunt, we are going later September, so it might be a little colder up there, but we should be able to dial in our gear for up there as far as whether it will work or not work via hunting deer and goat down here for the first month and a half. So I am looking forward to that, being able to pack out a couple animals before we go up there because, yeah, so really looking forward to it.
Yeah, what do you have for? Because I might be in the market for a new sleeping bag. Ordered a new Marmot that was on sale, which is awesome. And Marmot's the brand that I had, and I really like it. It's not that it's just kind of getting older. You wonder how much it's lost. People were recommending the Kafaru Slick Pack bag. I think you have a Western Wilderness. What is it called?
Western Mountaineering. So, I was in the same pickle you were last. Probably about 3-4 years ago, and I had a bag. I think it was from Helium Equipment or something like that. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a 30-degree bag. It was perfect. It was not super ultra lightweight, but it was getting the feathers in there. It was a down bag, and it was not as lofty as when I first bought it. So you wash it and dry it, and still a little clumpy. And then one of those things is like, well, it's starting to show some age. It's probably time to upgrade. So I figured I was at the time to where I can spend a little bit more money on the sleeping bag, get a lightweight, compact one, and just kind of like, we spend so much time and money just to get out into the field. I don't want something as small as that, whether I got to wait out a storm, get wet or something. I don't want the bag to restrict me and have to think that I have to go back to the boat or the truck or the airstrip or something like that. So I got the Western Mountaineering ultralight. I only know this because I looked it up yesterday because I was trying to get the information for you, and it's under 2 pounds, and it's a 20-degree bag, so it checks a lot of boxes for what we do, I think.
And it packs down pretty good.
Yeah, it's probably just a little bit bigger than an Nalgene bottle, maybe 2 Nalgenes put together. Yeah,
I had a nice stuff pack for my Marmot, but I lost it. And those things will just fit to whatever bag you put it in. So I have a regular Sea to Summit dry bag that I have it in, but just by nature of you can roll it as much as you want and then clip it, it's still going to be a fat, bulky thing. And so if I had the original bag, I'd be able to pack it down smaller. But because it's now more bulky, it just takes more space in the pack. And that sort of space is at a premium. That's, half a day's worth of food.
Yeah.
So packability is such a huge thing too, in addition to obviously warmth and lightness, but I guess there's maybe some other areas that I can cut down or figure it out. But yeah, it is going to be nice that Dabby and I can split the packing needs. But she doesn't have a huge pack. Her Stone Glacier pack that I bought for her is more like an overnighter, like a weekend type thing. So she doesn't have a whole lot of room in that. The load shelf will be fine because you can separate that from the bag, so that won't be an issue. But once you get meat between the bag and the frame, that's space that camp could also go into. So
yeah.
Maybe the move is going to be to get her a bigger pack because you can just switch out the pack and the frame. Kafaru is like that too, right? Where you can put a different pack on the same frame.
Yeah, they're pretty modular. So actually last night I swapped my smaller bag over to my bigger bag. So I bought a new bag for this year. I bought it late last year, so I was able to use it on a rut hunt. But I bought the Kafaru doll, I think it is, and it's a big bag. Like, I'm going to cry if that thing gets full of meat and gear. Yeah, going to have to buck up, put my big boy shorts on for that one. Yeah, they're pretty modular. And, if you want to, you can take that bag off and you can put meat between the pack and the frame. It works. It's not a bad system. I just believe in, I've tried it both ways. So I've had a Kuyu pack, which they're designed to put the meat between the pack and the frame. Works pretty good. I've had Kafaru, and I put all of my boned out meat, or however I'm going to pack my meat, into an OR bag. So it's a dry roll top bag, and it's waterproof. So that's the biggest thing, is the blood won't get in my pack. So, but it holds your meat in a nice, good, almost like if you're training, it holds it into like a sandbag form. So it keeps it slender and easy to tighten. It keeps it easier against your back in a nice form. So it forms kind of to your back, and it doesn't. You don't have meat or anywhere slopping out. So I just like throwing that big bag of meat into my bag right up against my back, and then right up against my back, and then throwing stuff around it and then tightening everything down around that. It seems to work pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So
I have the Stone Glacier version of that, and it is nice that it fits, in that, like you said, that tubular sort of thing, and so it doesn't have kind of leak and falling out. I really do like those Argali game bags that I have, and those work pretty good because black-tailed deer, you're not dealing with so much meat that it's just going to flop out unless you're using multiple bags or anything like that. You don't get it cinched down right. So, yeah, there's when you're going after bigger animals, those are the considerations. I'm not super concerned about wetness, but I'm worried about, or I'm thinking about what gear to take. I have some rain pants and a rain jacket, but down here, once late September, October starts rolling around, I'm wearing Grundon's bibs and a jacket. That's going to keep you stinking warm and dry. You're going to get wet from sweat, but it's going to evaporate better. That's a lot heavier, though, and it'll be interesting to see miles-wise what we end up covering.
yeah,
Caribou from, they tend to migrate, always moving. So I don't think we have to really worry about if we go up with some of these creeks and valleys and things like that. I don't think we have to worry much about putting our scent back in there. Like if you have a moose that's running around in a certain area, might think something's wrong and it's going to take off. There should always be some sort of migrating, replenishing, moving, well, not migrating, but moving caribou in there, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. So we should be able to cover some miles, but I don't want to be zigzagging back and forth like, no, and now they're here, and now they're there. And it's going to be tough to not do if we happen to see something.
Yeah, I'm not too concerned about within reason, I'm not too concerned about our wind, unless we find an animal stalking, then we'll be concerned about our wind. But luckily we have a pretty good caribou consultant, Harrison. So I thank him a lot for all the information he's been giving us. But name of the game, he just says get high in glass, and that's kind of how it goes for like alpine deer down here and called fish and game and up there in Fairbanks. He's just like, just get high in glass, and that's pretty much it. Let your eyes do the walking, and you hear podcasts and stuff like that, and that's kind of just what a lot of people just say. Just let your binos do the walking. So we'll have no end of country to cover, so it should be good.
It's pretty funny how when you're going on a different species hunt and you start doing the research, start talking to people, start listening to podcasts and whatnot, and how many of these things are pretty much the same. Yeah, just glass. Get up high and glass. Be patient, but when you're ready to make a move, and then pay attention to the wind.
Yeah.
But, just do all this basic fundamental hunting things, and that doesn't matter if it's antelope or caribou or whatever. It's just the same sort of thing, just in a new context. So that's refreshing, and feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. Yeah. Just get high and walk the ridges if we can, then just keep on moving and just keep glassing. So should be pretty interesting. We're going a little later, and to me, up north later in the year, I'm kind of thinking snow, kind of thinking frost, but I guess a lot of people still moose hunt around that time. So, I mean, they're probably running the same thing. So, I'm not kind of a little bit of the unknown. So,
yeah, that mid-September is for that area is getting kind of late-ish. At least, I guess, by our standards, because late September is the end of the alpine season down here pretty much. And so you think, well, if you go hours and hours north, it's going to be even worse. Is it going to be snow? And there could be snow. And there was snow up on the in the Brooks Range when we were up there last year, and that was beginning of August. So, I mean, the weather is always going to be a consideration. It's just different when it's snow, I guess.
Yeah.
But, that'll be interesting. Once we're 10 days out, I'm going to be just checking.
Oh, yeah.
Checking. And
nonstop.
checking. But then there's a difference between the nearest city and where we actually go. And that happens to us when we go. You check the Ketchikan weather, and then you you look outside and, actually you can't see anything up on the mountain. In town, it's nice. Or in town, it's high ceiling, maybe a little bit of mist, but you go back to where you want to deer hunt, and then all of a sudden it's not.
Socked in, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit concerned about that. You get in the mountains and that sits in, but again, that's part of the experience. So,
yep.
What are you taking rifle wise?
I'm going to be taking my 6.5 Creedmoor.
Yes. What do you shoot out of that?
I shoot the 143 grain ELDX by Hornady, and that has just been a phenomenal bullet out of that gun. That gun is lighter. It's 7.5 pounds loaded with my bipod. So I bought that gun and put it together. I didn't build it because I'm not that guy. I just slapped some parts on it, and I wanted a lightweight platform that's still fairly decent all the way around. It might be a little bit light for what we're doing, but I mean Tyler Friel just killed a grizzly bear with a lighter bullet than that. So
did it to prove the point. It's funny whenever you look at whenever he posts anything about it, there's always a couple people who just make the comments right off the bat. It's like, well, of all the things, man,
why not?
Of all the things that you're going to argue about, or why can't you just be happy? I'm like, oh, cool, man. That's great.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Frank Lasser, he hunted with a smaller gun than that. So, and he killed a lot more animals. So
my buddy Rob, his wife Mandy, shot a whole bunch of animals down in Montana when they were down there with a 243.
Nice,
because her dad was a guide, and just taught her, aim for the heart.
Yeah,
just hit the heart. If you hit the heart, it doesn't matter. And so she grew up with that very meticulous aim exactly for this very spot. I'm going to hit the heart. I'm not going to hit the side. I'm not going to hit the animal. I'm going to hit the stinking heart. And so she's mule deer and elk and all that stuff. She's taking it with a 243 because it's just hit the right spot.
And that's probably a caliber for a female or smaller person. I mean, I hunt with a 243 sometimes. I used to hunt a lot with a 243 for deer in the rut here, and I've even taken it up to the Alpine. But that's a comfortable cartridge. It doesn't have a lot of kick, so you're not going to get jumpy with it. It's not the biggest bullet. It's not 30-06 or 300 whatever. So, but I mean, it does the trick if you aim for the heart or double lungs. I mean, your animal's probably going to die.
Yeah, and I think part of it, if you get too big, or it doesn't even have to be a massive thunder maker, even with an .6, you think, all right, this is a bigger caliber gun, and so I don't have to be right on here because it's still a bigger caliber. It could still, I mean, that's the exact sort of thing that you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah,
and I've done that too with I've missed with a 22, and there's no kick.
Yeah,
there's nothing there. It's a hardly even a sound, but you're aiming at a grouse up in a tree, and you just get excited, and you just do something stupid, and then you get too excited with an .6 or 270. So just kind of getting over that. So I've been putting a lot downrange, but I'm not convinced that I'm shooting the cheapest stuff they had at Tongass. It's the Federal.
After years of fine print contracts and getting ripped off by big wireless providers, if we've learned anything, it's that there's always a catch. So when I first heard that Mint Mobile offers premium wireless starting at just $15 a month, I thought, what's the catch? But after talking to them and using their service, it all made sense. There isn't one. Mint Mobile's secret sauce is that they're the first company to sell wireless service online only. They cut out the cost of retail stores and pass those sweet savings directly to you. For anyone who hates their phone bill, Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for just $15 a month. I was hesitant about having to get a new phone and a new phone number, but with Mint, you can use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and keep your same phone and your same phone number along with all of your existing contacts. Mint Mobile gives you the best rate whether you're buying for one or for a family, and at Mint, families start at 2 lines. All plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Switch to Mint Mobile and get premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month and to get the plans shipped to your door for free, go to mintmobile.com/waypoint. That is mintmobile.com/waypoint. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/waypoint.
Something, I don't know, but that ELDX is that the right stuff?
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you
Hornady?
What are you bringing? You and Abby bringing? You each gonna bring a rifle?
270, just because I like it the most.
Yeah.
And my buddy actually shoots Hornady, and I really liked, like, all my best shots were made with the Hornady. I was like, man, this is. At first, I thought it was mostly like me, because I didn't want to be the type of person who, like, blame the scope. Oh, the scope's off. Scope must have got bumped, or whatever else, or the ammo's bad. Like, if it's my fault, then I can fix it.
Yeah.
Right. So this is a matter of me. I need to practice more. I need to make sure that I'm not twitching, that I'm pulling, I got to make sure that I have my fundamentals down. That's the first thing. Once that is figured out, then I can start looking at whether or not the ammo is good or not. So I've only been hunting for 10 years, so I'm starting to get to the point now where I'm definitely looking at, okay, I got my stuff together. This could be an ammo thing, or this is an ammo thing. Let's find something now that you got everything else dialed in. Let's find something now. Let's find some ammo that the rifle likes to shoot, rather than not shoot at all and just blame the ammo when it's really me. So 270 because I like it more. I don't like my .6. It was the cheaper. I think it's a Ruger. Is it the American or whatever? It's just there was like the kit one that you get on sale for the cheapest.
Yeah. Good starter rifle.
Yeah, good starter rifle, but I just don't like how it. It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
The 270, it's a Savage 116. Really like it. The bolt runs nice and smooth, and got a nice scope on it. So
nice. Yeah, you just got a new scope for that, right?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. The had a Vortex Razor on it, and it fogged up last year during rut, and I've dropped that thing so many times, and just you spend 3 or so weeks worth of days out hunting up here, and it's always wet, always wet, always wet. So finally it fogged up and it didn't go away. So they replaced it. So that was awesome.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's
and it was an older model, so I got the newer model, which is great. So yeah, I feel most comfortable with that. I like that, and got the new Spartan bipod, same thing that you did.
What do you think of it?
Love
Have
it.
you shot with it yet?
Absolutely love it. Yeah, I took it to the range. Absolutely love it. I love how easy it is to it's magnetic, and so you can take it out.
Snap it right up.
I
little
had
receiver.
My previous bipod was can't remember, but it was pretty clunky. There were 3 different like settings or widths or lengths on the legs. So you could be kneeling, like on your knees, kneeling, and you could shoot. So almost standing, you could almost shoot. I mean, there was a lot of space that you could create, or a lot of elevation you could get from it. But that just means that you're gonna have a lot bulkier,
Sounds heavy.
lot heavier,
Yeah.
operation there. So
Probably stable though.
pretty stable.
Sounds stable
I
anyway,
used that
yeah.
for the winter caribou with Harrison, and it was sweet.
Nice.
But it was on the lowest setting. So I'm curious about the shots up here. When you get in that tundra, and the same thing with that plant life can be a little bit taller than you think, and so it's probably going to have to be a pack, and then that on top of that. But then there's still some brush and stuff around, so it'll be interesting to see. I think that's going to be an absolute blacktail alpine killer.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be so good.
It is nice. I used it for the first time last year, and that's my first bipod I've ever owned. I've heard a lot of good things about them. I was like, okay, well, we'll try one. So I bought it, put it on the rifle, and it's been awesome. I think I shot 2 deer with it now, maybe. Yeah, at least 2 deer with it, and one was a 400-yard shot. Awesome, stable. And then the other one was a 225 no-brainer, and just popped the thing out and just put it down, and yeah, it was extremely stable. So
Nice.
that and that 6.5, it just doesn't kick at all. So I can I took my muzzle brake off because that rattled my ears pretty bad. So I took that off, but with that, shooting it with the muzzle brake, I could watch where the bullet was going.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
there was just no kick, no
Nice.
jump, but there wasn't a whole lot of kick without it. So I took it off just because I don't wear ear protection when I go out hunting. It's more of just it's probably silly, but I just don't. So couple shots, and yeah, the adrenaline is going so good anyway. Right before you pull the trigger, it's just I don't hear it. So took that off, and it's extremely stable with that bipod. So yeah, really enjoy it.
How do you deal with, because you're not a sponsored rich person, how do you pick and choose what gear is most important, what you're going to choose to get and what not? I just bought some new arrows, and so that's probably going to be why I don't get a new sleeping bag, because I don't think I can do both, especially I got the new bipod too, and I got the new spotting scope attachment for the phone, which is so nice. But I can't buy everything. Like you get a little if it's 20% off, then that makes it a little easier.
That helps.
There has to be some sort of deal, otherwise I just can't be buying all this stuff. So how do you prioritize what gear improvements you're going to do because you're a regular guy without sponsorships?
So I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I like listening to the podcasts that aren't sponsored by like Spartan, and they're not Spartan, and they're not sponsored by MagView or any of these bigger companies. So like Photocast, those guys are true, and they believe in the products that they promote, and they're not getting paid to do that. And you know that they're putting it to the test because they're going to Alaska, Colorado, wherever. They're putting it to the test. They're hunting a lot with stuff like that. So that, and listen to a couple good podcasts with the owner of Spartan Precision, and that guy's values are just top notch. I mean, he just seems like a very good guy, believes in his products, believes in making a good product that's going to last, and that really helps. So as far as the spending and stuff like that, I try to find the best deal. I try to wait on sale, but sometimes, I just see something shiny and like, okay, I got to buy it. So work a little overtime, maybe, but yeah, it's, I'm definitely the spender out of my relationship, and yeah, so, but again, we're putting food on the table. You can justify it however you want. You know, I could, sit here and justify it either way, but this is what I love to do. I absolutely love hunting. I love fishing, but I love to go out and hunt. I love to hunt bear, deer, goat, anything that I can. And part of that, you get to a certain level and you just want to start buying what you feel is the best. So like with my spotting scope, I was like, okay, well, first spotting scope I bought, it was a Vortex Razor, 85 millimeter, something like that. It's a great spotting scope. Expensive. But then you get to a point where it's like, okay, the warranty's good. The glass is pretty good. But it's like, there's something better that I can see clearer and farther. I can count more points, rings, etc. So like when you're going on sheep hunt, I wouldn't ever do it. But if you have to count rings to make sure it's legal, or if you have to full curl, you're going to want the best glass, because if you make the wrong move and he's 7/8, I mean, there's penalties for that. And you as the hunter, pulling the trigger, you have to be able to make those judgment calls. So I believe in having, the best gear that I can afford. And if it means saving up or selling some of your old gear, then yeah, that's just what I do. So.
Yeah, I think it's big too that you don't go through. You're talking about your tent that you've had for a while. You've had your sleeping bag for a while. So if you have those, you're not. And same thing with gear. Like you've been running the same KUIU stuff for a while, right? A couple of years. So if you're turning everything over every 2 years, that's going to be way too expensive.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be a huge problem.
Yeah,
so.
And some people, their new thing is they like to buy bows every year. They like to buy the latest, greatest Sitka line or KUIU line or whatever, and that's going to take. What's the matter with the 2019 stuff? If you just want to get everything new in 2020, I mean, probably nothing wrong. So I don't buy new clothing every year. I have some stuff that's been put through the ringer, but still works, so I still wear it. So I think I'm on my 4th year with the rain gear that I have now. It's the KUIU Kutana, I think, and it's pretty good. It's lighter weight. So I don't think I would want to wait out a rainstorm in it, but I don't think anybody wants to wait out a rainstorm in any sort of rain gear. So that's when you hunker down and hop in your tent.
Yeah, the brush is always really difficult on the rain gear up here. I got chipped away at a Sitka system, and I still have the hoodie from it. Love it. And then I ended up getting I got the puffy pants. I think I got the puffy pants before I got the puffy jacket, but I got them like 2 years apart, and they're fine. You don't use them every single time. You just have them, so there's really no reason at all to not just chip away at it and then have that stuff and really like that, and then look for other things that enhance the experience. Color does enhance the experience.
Yeah.
Boots. How long do your boots last? What do you got?
So I'm trying a new pair. So I've had Scarpas the last couple years, probably. I don't even know how many years, but I've had a pair of Scarpas for quite a while. I like that stiff sole. Those first I had a synthetic pair of Scarpas, and those lasted a couple years, and now I got. Anyways, so this year I'm trying out Hanwag's, the Alaska GTX. So it's a Gore-Tex leather boot. It's got a little bit of flex to it. Biggest thing is waterproof. I can recondition the leather. I can put some conditioner on there, and so far it's been a good boot. Been wearing them a lot. Been on a couple hikes with them, so I'm really looking forward to having some dry feet and giving them a shot. So I think I got those back in so they're not even a year old yet, so I can't really talk too much about them yet. So, but they're comfortable. They're warm. I got the sheep feet insoles for them too. A little different than so I normally run the green super feet, and I just decided to go with I think sheep feet was having a sale on them or something like that. So I did the thing and ordered one of them. They send you this little plaster box. You put your feet in there, and I don't know if I can tell a difference. I'm really looking forward to if I can tell a difference, notice anything with my form or, back pain or soreness when I carry out a heavy load with them. So I can't say yay or nay on them yet, but I figured I'd give them a shot. So
You do any specific training for this, or you just pretty much stay in shape year round?
I fall off the wagon probably just like everybody else, and this summer has just been going by so fast. It's like you want to go out fishing, you want to go out camping, and it's like, oh, but it's July and I got to go hiking. Otherwise, August is gonna suck. So, been trying to do a couple hikes a week, just starting in July. But I feel like I stay in decent enough shape throughout the year. So, I like to run, and I'll do some hikes as we get closer, and just a little workouts. Nothing specific. Lift a little bit of weights. I'll probably just do some plate workouts. Just 25-pound plate, and just pick that up from wrestling high school. Yeah, it's pretty effective. So yeah, nothing super specific. No.
Yeah, getting a pack on the back is a big thing. Starting getting heavier packs and doing some of those hikes and then especially on uneven terrain is big. You can put on a 40-pound pack or 60-pound pack and walk on the trail, and okay, that's fine, but that's way different than on a slick surface or on like a game trail or an alpine trail. So try to get a pack. I noticed the difference just my pack going up. I packed everything I could think of in it. Totally prepared for this last, it was just an overnighter, but I just wanted to get that first kind of heavy pack. So my pack was over 45 pounds.
Sweet.
And, it was fine. I was going slower than I thought. It just felt weird to have that extra weight because the other hikes have been going on with just the spotting scope and some water, maybe a couple snacks. That's a really super light pack, so you can go fast and, so that heavier pack. So I felt it a little bit, and especially going through that brush, and then you got some of the slick surfaces. It makes it a little bit different. But, I felt that I was in a pretty good shape there. But that's the big difference a lot of people talk about when they come up here is just how slick it is and how they thought they were in shape. But there's a big difference between a Stairmaster and an actual mountain. There's a big difference between walking on a flat surface on a sidewalk with a pack and actually getting some elevation and unstable surfaces.
Yeah. I am also a firm believer, something is better than nothing. So, rather than just sitting on the couch until, it's August 1st, it's time to strap on the pack and go. Well, I'll just suffer through. I'm not one to suffer through. I would like to enjoy the experience. Granted, I'm going to push to get up there, but yeah, I believe something is better than nothing. So, but yeah, you're right. Just getting the pack on and just going out. There's probably no better training than that because that's exactly what you're going to be doing.
So coming full circle, I guess, with the actual Caribou. So what shot expectation are you looking at? What are you looking for anything specifically? I know you listened to the Megaboo episode on Tyler Friel's podcast, Hunter Talk, and what that thing had. Was it over 200 pounds of meat came off that?
Sounded like that was that sounded like a big caribou. I'm going to try to keep my expectations low, just so I'm not disappointed, but I would like to shoot just a mature caribou. I've heard that where we're going, the caribou, they're probably, I think the Fish and Game guy said they're 20% bigger than a mature North Slope boo, and we shot small ones, and that was still a healthy pack out for us. So I'm not looking for double shovels. I'm not looking for any characteristics as far as the antlers go. I just want a good caribou, good mature caribou. I'm not going to put restrictions on big palms or anything like that. I feel like I'm going into this hunt as when I see it, and if it gets me excited, then I'm probably not going to be able to pass it up, which I'm really looking forward to. I just don't want to put restrictions, and I don't want to set my expectations too high. I've seen a lot of photos of some good caribou coming out of here. I've heard a lot of good stories. It's definitely just exciting, but I just want to go up and hunt.
Yeah. Caribou are weird because you look at them, and if you're thinking about a good representation of the species, the difference between something that's a good representation of the species and like upper end trophy is so vast. There's so much junk and so much extra stuff going on. You got the back scratchers, you got the shovels, you got so much going on. It can look like almost weird, almost alien. There's some, I kind of think of whitetails, and I think it's disrespectful maybe to make any sort of comparison between such a wild animal like caribou and some of these whitetails that you get, but they just have all those stickers, and they're not uniform. It's not like a nice looking whitetail 6x6. It's got 87 little things just hanging off everything. It looks like a stinking sagebrush or something like that, or like a it just looks weird and gross because there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say that there's caribou that looks like that, because I don't want to make it seem like it's gross or like it's inbred or there's damage or there's whatever. But some of those are just, there's so much, it's almost distracting.
There's almost too much going on.
Too much going on.
Yeah, you can't look away because there's a new point there. There's one coming off of that point, right? Yeah, it's funky. I can see what you're saying there.
Yeah, they're cool though.
Yeah,
They're
cool. Yeah.
I've seen some pictures. Harrison showed us some pictures, and some other people have some pictures too. Just some beautiful looking caribou that just look absolutely massive.
Yes,
especially when they're in velvet, because that whole velvet thing, it's alien. It's so wild.
Got to go back. So I did. I lied. So I did keep one restriction on there, and that's why I kind of wanted to go later in the season. I didn't want to shoot one in the velvet because we shot ours in the velvet last year, and antlers are cool. Antlers are something you can hang up in your shop. Antlers are something you can show your buddy. I want a good set of hard antlers. Hard antlers or hard horned?
Yeah.
They're antlers, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hard antlers is what we're going to go
now
with.
You're totally overthinking it, yeah.
Yeah, so I want a good set of hard antlers that, I can put in my shop or I can put wherever. So I haven't decided if I'm going to go a mount. I think a pedestal mount in the corner of the living room or something like that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't have a big house, and that takes away money from another hunt. So I'm kind of thinking if I was successful, I would probably just do a Euro. It's kind of what I'm thinking.
It's a good look, man. You can't go wrong with a Euro.
Yeah, and something I can put in my shop. I can put in my workout room. So and it won't take up that much room, and it's not that expensive to get done up. So, but I just want to shoot a big caribou. If we only see small ones, I'm probably not going to shoot a small one. So there's a chance this could just be a really fun hiking trip. So, but I'm okay with that. Yes, I'm okay with not shooting a decent mature animal. I don't want to sound like a trophy hunter or anything, but just with where we're going. I mean, that's kind of where I'm leaning. So
right now on July 6th.
Yeah. Now ask me on the last day. There's something close to where we're being picked up.
See,
plans might change pretty quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could get trigger happy.
Yeah, the hard horn caribou. It's a really cool looking thing there. I know some of the people that get them shipped down there, because you got to put them in a box. You got to get it figured out. And if you get anything in there, any flies or any maggots or whatnot, and that just the velvet is just so much more rich, bloody terrain for maggots or whatnot to get in there too. So it'd be a lot cleaner probably if it's hard horns, which is nice.
Yes, and smelled so bad because I had it in my cooler on our way down last year, and I had it on ice. I mean, granted it wasn't frozen, but just like, oh my goodness, this after a couple days, even on ice, it was like, this is stinky. So I just disposed of them. But you did the smart thing. You just got rid of them right off the bat. Like,
Well, mine wasn't at all anything to look at. If it would have been hardhorn, because I brought back the cow hardhorn antlers from that hunt, and they're just unmistakable caribou. Very small because it was a cow and it was open to cows. It was the cull the herd hunt. But, it's going to be sweet. I'm excited to get up on one of those knobs and just be glassing and just kind of look around and see what's there. It's going to be definitely some nice remote wilderness once we get back in there.
It's going to be so fun.
Yeah, it'll be cool how the habitat intersects. It's not clearly caribou and maybe like see a fox or something like that. It's like caribou intermingling with grizzly bear intermingling with moose intermingling on the high end with sheep. It's like an all-in-one, and there's a lot of areas in Alaska that are like that. It'll be cool to be in one to kind of see that, because down here you go up on a deer hunt and it's deer, maybe some goats. Some areas
maybe
you can go
mountain
goat and then some deer and some black bear, but just these animals we don't see very often. To be able to be on one glassing knob and look way up and maybe see some white dots that are sheep, and then caribou at eye level and down look at moose. That's going to be a pretty cool potential experience to have.
Yeah. Probably going to have to go through gear, because I don't know if we want to bring 2 spotting scopes or if we want to just bring 1 spotting scope. And so definitely be a lot of planning, but I feel like nothing to it we've been on a lot of hunts together already. So
I think 3 binos for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's kind of personal
spotting
expected,
scope,
at least in my mind.
Yeah. I guess maybe you don't have a jet boil. Yours is the MSR.
MSR, yep. It's strictly just for boiling water. I mean, that thing has an on-off, and it is fast. It's not the lightest, but it's tough, and it boils fast. So, but you're not going to simmer like any food in it.
No. Yeah, we just have jet boils. I guess I do have some like a jet boil pan and whatnot and pot, but that just ends up being, if need be, we've boiled hot dogs.
Yeah.
In our jet boil. I think we've cooked some steak in there too, some steak chunks.
Oh wow.
Just add a little bit of water and just stirred it up.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty.
How'd that turn out?
Horrible. Not great. No, but I think if we have some meat, then you just put a little fire.
Yeah.
And then roast something like that.
Back straps.
Yeah, maybe some maybe 2 of those. Hot tent probably not going to make it.
I want everybody to be comfortable. I realize I'm asking a lot, for people to come out and just hunt with me and pack for me. So I want everybody to be comfortable. So, and I feel like with what we got going on, I'm probably just going to bring it. Then we'll just set up like a base camp style, and just get base camp set up and get a big stash of firewood. So that way, if we get back in late at night and it's like, oh, I don't want to set up my tent, I'm tired. Let's just, but you got to set it up. So it's like, if we already had a base camp set up with some firewood on the side, maybe a cooler or something, just depends. I think it would be really nice to just be able to, it'd be more of an incentive. So if we did get something later, it's like, okay, we can get some meat back to the pickup spot, and then we can just sleep there at base camp, and then we can get recharged, have a nice warm fire in the stove, and wake up, eat some or drink some coffee, eat some breakfast, and then strap on whatever we. Long story short, yes, I think we are going to be bringing it and the stove.
Then we would have to bring tents for spike camps, though. So that ends up being, how much is the hot tent weigh?
The tent and the stove and the pole and everything, it's under 8 pounds. So it's not, and it's about as big as a basketball. I mean, it's about as big as a basketball. So I think it's well worth the wait. I mean, we're not going out there for 3 weeks, but again, it's like, okay, well, if we already have a shelter set up at the pickup spot, then we don't have to set up our tents.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, if it snows on day one and everything just ends up, or you're going to be slopping around, if you can't get your shoes, if you start off wet, then that kind of changes the complexion of the whole rest of the week. If weather's bad right off the bat, so it'd be nice to have it. But then also, if it's going to add weight, I don't know. We have months to debate that. So I are both not like I want it to be as luxurious as possible, but
I also
if
feel
we
like
can make it work, then
yeah. And I also feel like the hot tent is not just a luxury; it's more of a morale booster.
Mm-hmm.
If you can get a fire going, and if we have to wait out a storm, get a fire going, stay dry, and wake up, get a fire going, and then get to rolling. I feel like that's just a recharge and just something as simple as just having that stove cherry red and just being warm. It's not just a luxury; it is a luxury, but I feel like it's a morale booster. Okay, we're ready to go because we can go out and play in the storm, and then we can come back and get a fire going again. So it doesn't last very long, but it's definitely nice.
Yeah, that alpine hunt we went on when it was soaking wet, and then we had to wait out the fog and the rain. We were in there for almost the entire day.
Yeah.
But eating some bear sausage and
Crackers
cheese and
yeah, that was good.
yeah, it makes a huge difference. So, we'll see. We'll see. I'm getting pretty excited, but we got a lot of good stuff in between now and then. You got plans for the opener?
Yes. Brother and I were gonna go out. He's never done any alpine hunting, so I'm gonna take him up. We're gonna go try to get him a buck. Don't know where I'm going yet. I just know we're gonna go somewhere. So looking forward to that. He gets first dibs. So yeah. Should be good. And then after that, hopefully a lot of hunting trips in between then and Caribou. So, yeah. Hopefully a goat trip, too. So we're allowed to shoot 2 goats now. So, but it's hard enough just to get one. So it's like,
yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got plans for the opener. I got a buddy from California coming up. And then Abby's parents come up. So they get here on the 16th. So between the 1st and the 16th, just going to be all out. We might have to try to do the goat sometime in there.
Ooh.
So
Sweet.
It'll be before I have school, and that's when because once school starts, things are pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I'm going to be taking that week off for once we get rolling. So I do a lot of training those first couple weeks, but I think there's something cool about. I think the kids kind of respect it. If you're just taking days off to kind of hang out, but if you're going on an epic hunt with your wife, I think it's
that's pretty cool.
It's kind of a cool thing. I know some of the kids will definitely respect it. Who knows if that's going to lead to them actually doing their work while I'm gone? But it's cool. Len's gone. He's doing something big. Good for him.
Yeah.
Get some cred maybe. But
cool.
We'll see.
Yeah. When does goat open up? Is it on the 1st for over the counter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Cool.
Yeah, I had to double check that because everything else is like the 10th or the 15th.
I think the draws are the 15th or something like that.
Yeah. And then sheep is always the 15th, except for the youth hunts, right? The youth hunts
sheep is the 10th.
10th? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the non-federally qualified deer over on Prince of Wales is the 16th.
Yes.
So, yeah, there are some funky dates in there, but actually I got the
I got to read the fine
Do you
print.
have the app?
I do have the app.
It's
the
pretty
Fish and
cool.
Game app.
Yeah, I like the Fish and Game app. You can check stuff out, but there's just something about flipping through the pages of the reg book. I could get the new one. This is the 22, 23. Is the new one out?
The new one is
Should
out.
be out, yeah.
Yep. I've seen it. A couple stores. I have not picked one up yet, but should probably pick one up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like looking online too. Emergency orders and stuff like that. You never know what they're popping out, so it's just good to just check. Quick check before you head out. So
yeah, August 1st for the remainder, and then August 15th for the draws.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Be good.
That, and I like looking at all the photos, seeing all the kids and everybody holding up their trophies.
There was one in here
cool.
that Abby and I thought, oh man, was that didn't look full curl, but I mean this is a picture that's printed thousands of times. So it's not going to be the best of resolution.
That, and it could be any ram.
Could have been an any ram.
Could have been a.
Well, is there anywhere that is any ram?
I think there's a few spots in the state where there's an any ram tag. I know there's a Yeah, I know.
I figured if it was going to be anything, it would be for the sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, full curl, or if it was going to be for the youth hunts. But yeah, we didn't find anything that wasn't full curl for sheep. But yeah, I don't know where the picture was. There's some nice moose in here.
Nice moose. There's a couple nice goats. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely got moose on the brain too.
Some caribou.
That'd be a nice thing too. You don't have to buy any of the other tags.
Yes.
So we can go in there. We can just go full up. So if, happen to be in an area we're looking up, and oh my gosh, that thing might be full curl. What happens then? What if we see something there? You have first shot on anything. But what if there's something out there we might think is a full goat?
Full goat? Full curl?
Full, yeah. Oh, sorry, not goat, sheep.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking right now in my brain if it's a full curl ram, we're probably going to have to pursue that because I've never killed a ram yet. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to focus most of my energy on caribou.
Of course.
Yeah. I don't feel like we have enough time to go sheep hunt and then caribou hunt.
No.
So, but if we see an obvious, wow, he needs a second look, then yeah, second looks are going to have to happen. That's just name of the game.
Yeah, with some of these caribou that are up a little higher in elevation, it kind of puts you in that territory where you can look up a little bit further and you can kind of see that be a temptation. But I think that would be a tragic, well, not tragic, but hey, let's just go take a look. And then you end up spending a day or two up there chasing that and then end up, before you know it, time runs out. So got to stay focused on that, not get too squirrely up there. But yeah, it doesn't hurt. All it takes is printer paper to get more tags. So might as well.
Yeah, we're going to a spot. I mean, we just gotta have all of our tags in our hand, and then just cross that bridge when we get there, type of thing. That's kind of the way I'm feeling as of right now, anyway. So yeah, it's gonna be an adventure.
Yeah, I think the 1,000 to 1. If you were in Vegas, you can bet on all kinds of different things. I think the 1,000 to 1, the dark horse result, is that Abby decides to stay near camp because it's the hot tent, and she shoots a mega moose. And she figures, well, I'll just figure I'd pack it myself because she's the type of person who would she went elk hunting by herself with her bow because she's
strong, independent.
I'll just figure out what to do. So, you guys were out at the Caribou, and I was near camp, and it was right there. I don't think that's going to happen, but that would be hilarious because she's the type of person who would, I had 2 or 3 days, so I figured I'd just start packing it, and you guys do your thing. I'll take care of this.
That's great. That is great. I mean, moose meat in camp, shoot away. Yeah, but to take that endeavor on by yourself, I think some of those moose quarters can get pretty big.
She's stubborn, though. She's I'll just figure it out.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah.
Perfect. Tough.
Yeah. Tough.
Got your hands full.
Got the hands full. Yeah, for sure. But, the reason why I don't think that would happen is she's going to be all in on being up there. I don't think she's going to hang out at camp and eat cookies or anything like that. She's not that type. So
we can do that after we get some animals on the ground.
Yeah.
Hang out, eat cookies, and drink beer.
Yeah. I don't want to expect things or put expectations out there, but is Hannah going to make some cookies again?
I think so. I would assume so. She's pretty good at keeping in the dessert department, so it's amazing I'm not bigger than I am. So.
Yeah, man, those cookies up last time were great.
Yeah. Just a home cooked cookie is awesome. Granted, we were just driving on the road, but still reaching back for another cookie is why not?
Yeah. We ate pretty well on that trip, being able to go to Fred Meyer and eat that sandwich stuff. Since we ended up back in the truck.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have
days.
I feel like we're gonna have adult supervision this time, so we're probably. I don't want to. If we're gonna get the side eye from Abby because we're being absolute pigs, you guys need to slow down, or
yeah, I don't know. That'll be fun. I'm really excited for it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really excited
It'll be
for
good.
it. So
Really happy you guys are going. So.
yeah, I'm glad it could work. I'm glad you could push it back a week. That
Flexible.
first week of school is just so tough to get the kids trained on what the expectations are and what we're going to do and how things work. So glad you could push it back, and it's going to be a lot of fun to go there. And looking forward to getting you a nice caribou.
Yeah, at first, my planning, I was like, well, I'm going to go regardless. So I was like, well, come hell or high water, I'm going to go by myself. So that's just kind of how it was going. And I was calling up buddies, hey, what do you got going on? And stuff was coming up, which is fine. And at first I was going to 2 weeks, and it was a lot of time off. And it's like, okay, it's going to be an adventure, but it's 2 weeks off. And so it's like, oh man, that's a lot to ask. So, but my dates were flexible. So then we were out fishing on the boat, and it's like, when are you leaving again? Well, I'm going out this date, but my days are flexible. Okay. Day goes on, we're catching tiny halibut, and then you bring it up again. So what are your dates again? Then you start looking at the calendar, doing whatever you were doing, and said, my dates are flexible. Okay, well, I'm going to have to put more thought into that, and next thing you know, we're going.
Yeah.
So
the big thing was not drawing the mule deer tag that I'd put in for in Wyoming. I was pretty sure that I had a couple points and I would draw where I wanted to go. And so I was, I think last year, 100% of the people with the amount of points that I had drawn. So you figure, yeah, shoot, if I don't have a 100% chance, I at least have really good odds to draw it.
Yeah.
But I didn't draw. So that was a couple $100 for the tag, and then trip down there, rental car up to Wyoming. So it really was just more of a put that into tickets to go up there and do that. So it really is, easy to do that. It was weird to kind of be excited that I didn't draw that, because in the back of my head I was like, man, this would be such a fun hunt to go on. And it is fun to just go on hunts. You don't have to be the shooter. I'm excited to put the camera lenses to work, and
that's going to be pretty fun.
So, yeah.
You going to take photos, or got a plan
Photos
for that?
still, I'm going to try to make like a film. I'm going to try to do it. I've made some little videos for YouTube. I'm going to try to do a full on thing and have the story and do the.
That'd be pretty cool.
And do the whole thing. So I've been talking with a lot of people, had a lot of podcasts this spring with those creators, and just because you talk to people and it makes sense doesn't mean you can actually do it. But
execute on it,
give it a shot.
Yeah.
So I mean, worst case scenario, it just ends up looking like a YouTube video, which some of those are really fun. They're good to watch. But I'm trying to make it, look more like a film rather than a YouTube video.
Oh,
so,
wow. Yeah, no pressure, huh?
But yeah, I'll probably you have to get a lot of the B-roll, and you have to get a lot of that other stuff too. And I might be kind of tired of it. You know, some people talk about how much they enjoy that part of the hunt, whereas other people I don't want to film because it takes me away from the hunt. So that could be the thing, that it ends up being cumbersome or a pain, or I just want to be present rather than have to film everything or look through everything through a lens. So
yeah, be worried about capturing a moment or something like that, rather than
because once you start important. You have to be in it. There are sometimes you go out there and you get a whole bunch of B-roll, but then you'll get any exciting stuff, and so the story ends up being a whole bunch of exposition and not much conflict and not much story. Here's how it happened, and here's the pack out. It's just hiking and hanging out and eating and lighting the jet boil and eating and joking around, and then shot, and it's over. It's like, well, what?
Not much of a story there.
Yeah. So, well, we'll see.
Cool. How does Abby feel about this? She's excited?
She's excited. She loves the adventure. She loves experiences, and she's in much better shape than she was last year.
Nice.
So yeah, she's pretty excited to get up there. She's really excited. I think since I'm going to be going out with my buddy Danny for the opener, she's thinking about hunting by herself for the opener.
That's awesome.
And then really wants to get a goat. So yeah, she wants deer. She wants a mountain goat under the belt and she doesn't really like rut hunting because it's super wet and we don't do real well a lot.
And it's busy.
Yeah, so she's like, I will shoot all 4 in the Alpine if I can.
That is awesome. Yeah. That, and I don't know. I feel like they taste better in August and September when you go up and shoot them. And I don't know if that's because you're working a little harder for them. You're going out, climbing a mountain and going to shoot them there. But I feel like they just taste a lot better than that.
Yeah, what they're eating up there, that deer heart and deer cabbage. I mean, just green leafy, super, super, super good. And once they kind of get down off that, they're eating some of the muskeg plants and stuff. And if they've transitioned to eating salal and whatnot, you are what you eat.
Yeah.
And then you add in the hormones and everything. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna go fast. It's gonna be here before we know it. Then it's gonna be over before we know it. So I'm sure we'll do at least one more podcast as we get things more dialed in.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, had a nice evening. Enjoy the evening. Well, thanks for listening, everyone. Make sure you check out onstepalaska.com and talk to you next time.